Yo, what's going on, guys? It's me, Aaron, with Evolution Daily, and in this video I'm going to explain to you how you can essentially rewire your brain and cure depression and anxiety in most cases without any sort of medication. So first off, what I want you to do is I want you to subscribe to the channel, okay? I put out videos like this every single week, teaching guys basically videos like this in order to improve your overall life experience, as well as dating advice for men. Now, I want you to think about a time in your life when you lost control, okay? So you were so heated up, whether it was in an argument, it was under pressure in a very, very high intensity situation, and you lost your cool, and you didn't feel as though you could even formulate sentences properly. You felt as though you were very, very shaky. A lot of people experience this in a situation where maybe you're about to get into a physical altercation, a fight. You know, a lot of people tense up, they freeze up. But more often than not, especially in today's society, people are dealing with this in a day-to-day basis, you know, in a workplace environment, in social environments especially. And more often than not now, I believe that the go-to solution is different sorts of medication. What I really hope to accomplish in this video is to basically sort of take from both my own life experiences as well as what I've learned from others, and sort of to explain to you how I truly believe that most of you that watch this video are able to, not necessarily cure, but live a very happy, depression and anxiety, a lot of it is not actually curable. What it is manageable. And so what I hope to accomplish in this video, again, is to explain a lot of different methods that I myself have used, as well as what I've learned from other people using in order to better manage your depression and your anxiety. Life is hard, I totally understand it. And in this video, I really hope to be able to help out some of you guys to, again, manage this depression, this anxiety, and, hopefully be able to avoid going on any sort of prescription medication that's going to make your dick not work, or that's going to, cause you to have to take other medications because of all the side effects and just make you not feel yourself. Now, the angle of this shot may be a little off, it may be a little crooked, I don't really know. I'm kind of dealing with what I have to work with here, which is, I'm out in a forest right now. So I'm in Hocking Hills, Ohio. I'm at Old Man's Cave, really, truly incredible place to be. And this leads me into my first point, which is, you have got to, and I mean you have to, it is a necessity for you to disconnect. So, our brains are not ready for the world that we're living in right now. If you go back to what a lot of doctors say, I've heard this from Dr. Christopher Ryan, as well as others. I believe in the book Humans, he talks about this, or Sapiens rather. They talk about how essentially we are in the same physiology, the same mentality as our ancestors that were living in 250,000 years ago, roughly. It's like you could take one of them and you could stick them here, put normal clothes on them, and you're not really going to notice much of a difference, right? And in the years and years that we've developed as human beings, there hasn't been as much noise, okay? And let me specify by what I mean by noise, okay? Noise, examples, people telling you how to live your life. Example, Instagram. Example, Snapchat, Facebook, YouTube. All of these different influences that are entering your brain on a daily basis, and that in a lot of cases will make you desire things that you don't even actually desire, but you feel you should. You might read the right self-development book that tells you that becoming a Zen Buddha is the only way to truly find happiness in your life, and all of a sudden, now you want to be a Zen Buddha, even though deep down at your core you don't want to. So here's a problem that I've found myself facing over the years, and a problem that I know so many of you guys have faced. So I am 27 years old in 2017, okay? I was born in 1990. Now, people around my age group and people that are older than me, we have been blessed with this sort of rare existence, okay? And what it is we had a childhood much akin to the childhoods that you might see, honestly, in the 70s or the 60s or even the 50s. We didn't have internet, okay? We didn't have AOL Instant Messenger yet. I mean, maybe it was coming around when I was about 9 years old, maybe 99, I guess you would say. Definitely even a little later than that. MySpace, things like that were coming around. However, again, in the most formative years, right, ages, 0 to I'd say 10, I didn't touch the internet, all right? I wasn't wired into the world in that way. My friends and I ran around making mud pies at the generator in the neighborhood, flipping our bikes upside down, spinning the wheels, throwing sticks into the wheels, just whatever it was. We were out enjoying nature. We were out just enjoying life, and we didn't know any better. We didn't know that here in about 10, 15 years or so, there's gonna be these epic video games where you sit there and you are somebody else. You're this crazy fucking elf warrior creature running around the world of Skyrim and whatever else. And those games are so incredible. Okay, they're so incredible that it makes people not want to do anything else, okay? Sometimes movies and television shows are so incredible. Instagram is so incredible. Snapchat is so incredible that it makes you not want to leave those things behind. It makes you wanting to stay wired in. But where does the problem occur, okay? The problem occurs in a lot of different ways, all right? So for one, okay, contentment. So right now, here I am. I'm in the forest. I'm near this beautiful waterfall. You see this ice waterfall behind me. It's absolutely glorious, okay? And something that I've been really, really working on myself is this idea of disconnecting, okay? Somebody that is very, very wired in to the system right now, and it might be you watching this, somebody that's very wired into the system, I might get them out here and they look around at this and they're like, yeah, like, it's cool. Can I get back to Call of Duty? Can I get back to my Snapchat, please? I don't have internet service down here. Can I get to my Instagram? They're literally going to be causing themselves anxiety by thinking about what it is that they're missing out on. And that's essentially what's happening with Instagram. So let me go ahead and just give you actually like a very deep, personal, anecdotal example of this. So something that'll happen with me, okay? And the reason why right now I'm taking a break from Instagram for a while, indefinitely, and why I'm really just trying to do a lot of these sorts of trips out here into the wilderness and disconnect from technology, okay? So I might be laying in bed with a beautiful girl. I'm not gonna get too in depth here. I might be laying in bed with a beautiful girl. Maybe we just had sex, okay? And I'm not horny anymore. I don't feel the urge to have sex anymore. I just had great sex, and I'm so grateful for the sex that I just had with this girl. She's incredible. And this is an amazing moment. And then what do? I get on my phone, and I start scrolling through a little bit. And what do I see on my timeline? I see Alexis Wren, okay? I see Valeria I'm trying to think of these girls that I follow. One of them is Valeria, one of the ones that I'm just like obsessed with. I see, okay? All these different people that I follow, okay? Just super hot girls, okay? And all of a sudden, in that moment of bliss, where I just had an orgasm, where everything is great, where I'm laying down with this girl that really cares about me and that I like and that I have here in person and that I can hang out with and eat with and enjoy, I'm now looking at this Instagram girl that's living in California or Europe or in the Ukraine or in Asia, somewhere across the world, and I'm now feeling want, okay? I'm feeling like what I have right here is not enough, that I want more, and that I want more, and that I want more, okay? You might have a decent car. You might have a decent car that gets you around from A to B, and you're scrolling through and you see a Lamborghini and you think, God damn it, why don't I have a Lamborghini? Okay, and motivation is one thing, but a complete and utter discontentment with the simple pleasures of life is another, okay? And what I find that I experience with social media, what I find that a lot of you guys are experiencing with social media, as well as even watching too many television shows, even playing way too many video games, is again, this lack of awareness, this lack of gratitude for where you are and when you're there. Now, what can you do to try to prevent this and try to get to a place where you're no longer feeling, disconnected from the world, really, because you're so connected into the falsities. You're so connected into these worlds that they don't really exist. You're connected into this ecosphere of people that are showing off the best sides of their life, that are showing off the best qualities. So what is it that you can do to, again, find that fulfillment, to find that contentment within your day-to-day life, which is then going to help you to deal with the depression or anxiety that may be being caused by, again, you looking around at the world and thinking, I'm not enough and I don't have enough and I want more. How can I get it? Okay. So one of the things that I would like to prescribe to you right now in this video, instead of pills, is phone breaks. Okay. So for me, this is something that I've been delving more and more into disconnecting and, going out into nature, into meditation, especially over the last few weeks. And I feel as though it's had massive positive effects on my life. However, something I've been doing for a long time now, and I just have known for a long time that my brain was so wired into Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, texting this girl, checking Tinder, checking YouTube. Your brain is wired to avoid pain and to take you towards pleasure, okay? And literally, when you do things that give you pleasure, okay, your brain rewards you, okay, with these dopamine responses. And when you're constantly getting these dopamine responses from the video game, from Snapchat, from Instagram, then what happens again is you step away from these sources of entertainment and all of a sudden you are not happy anymore. So what you need to do is you need to train your brain to become more happy, to become more present in the moment, and to be more grateful and feel more fulfilled from, again, just what your normal life is. It's a miracle to be out here. So again, what I would like to prescribe to you in this video is phone breaks, okay? Meaning, going out for a long walk, okay? I'm not talking about going to the gym. I'm not talking about working out. I'm talking about going on a long walk outside, okay? Now, I know some of you guys like me are living in Ohio, or you're living in New York, or wherever, Poland or something, and this might be difficult for you. You can either go for a long walk outside or just go throughout your day-to-day life and run some errands, okay? Just whatever it is, getting out of the house and leaving that phone at home, okay? Now, some of you might be thinking, well, Aaron, if I do that, then I could potentially run into a situation where, I need an Uber really badly, or I need to contact this person, or I'm waiting on a phone call. Leave it all behind, okay? Trust in your resourcefulness. You will figure out a way to get home if you get a flat tire. You'll figure out a way. God forbid you have to go talk to a stranger at a fast food restaurant and say, hey, listen, I'm not like some homeless drug addict or something. Basically, this is what I'm doing. I took a break from my phone. I left it at home. I have a flat tire. My car's right out there. I really need to use a phone in order to get a hold of my wife or my husband or whoever it is, and they're going to come help me, okay? You can figure a way out, all right? You can tell people, hey, I'll talk to you here in a few hours, okay? Get away from the phone. Go out. Breathe deeply. Enjoy your life. Live life and stop being so damn attached to that cellular device. All right, so I have to kind of laugh at myself about this shot really quick. I'm out here filming this completely by myself. I don't know how this is gonna turn out, but I've got the screen pointed towards me so I can kind of see myself on there. Again, whatever, I'm gonna roll with it here because I'm very passionate about making this video. And again, trying to help you guys to, be able to essentially manage depression and anxiety. It's something that huge part of my life that I feel really held me back for so long. And I really want to get these points across to you. So I hope you're enjoying the video so far, and I hope that you continue to watch with me. So the next thing that I want to talk about is developing fortitude in the face of resistance. So I had a very serious panic attack, okay? And I feel as though I had a few minor ones when I was a little younger, maybe not even so long ago, to be honest. Very minor situations. However, quick little story of what happened to me was, I used to weigh 290 pounds, okay? So with this giant coat on, you're probably like, damn, you look like you weigh 290 pounds right now, but I don't. I'm at about 220 right now, so I definitely lost a lot of weight. And, as well as being very overweight, turned out, acne was, tied to my obesity essentially. And so I lost a lot of weight. I cured my acne by losing weight, essentially by cutting out dairy, especially, I think was maybe one of the primary causes. I used to drink a lot of milk. I cut all that milk out. That's neither here nor there. The point is, I was at a point in my life where I had very, very severe depression, severe anxiety, again, very, very overweight, and very, very bad acne. And essentially what that led to is having no confidence at all whatsoever. I had to do a public speaking, I had to give a speech at Ohio State, and I'm giving the speech at Ohio State, and it's in my anthropology class, and during it, essentially, as I'm sitting there watching the other students going up before me, I start getting very, very nervous. I wore a sweater. It's the winter. I wore a sweater, and the room is way hotter than it normally is. I'm sitting there getting really, really hot. I'm getting so nervous to go up. I go up. I freak the absolute fuck out. I get up there. I start speaking my words, and they're not coming out clearly. I'm stuttering. I'm stammering over my words. I literally start whiting out. I can't even see anymore. My heartbeat is through the roof. I don't know what to do, and I end up just leaving the classroom. I literally just put down my paper, and I just go walking out of the classroom. Extremely traumatic incident. Definitely caused me for a long time after that to, even in situations where, say, I'm sitting around with 3 friends and, I'm the one that's being listened to now, where I'm kind of now, I'm the story I'm telling is now what everybody's focusing on and everyone's quiet. In those situations for a long time, I would start to freak out, okay? And I had wanted to do stand-up comedy for so long, and this kept me from doing stand-up comedy. I was at this time on the brink of doing stand-up for my first time ever, and I ended up putting it off for maybe another year and a half after that, okay? And this became a really serious issue in my life. I felt a lot of shame about it, and essentially what it caused is for me to never, ever want to do stand-up. But I realized it was something that I wanted to do for so long that that I had to do it anyways. So basically what happens then is I start doing stand-up comedy, okay? And I'm doing open mic nights all around Columbus, Ohio. And I am basically having another panic attack, having crazy bad anxiety each time I go to do stand-up comedy. And I can't get over it. It's taking me so long to get over it. But what I'm realizing is that every time that I go up and I do it and I have this terrible, terrible anxiety, what happens is I push past it, okay? So I get up there, I'm super nervous. One of the things that they teach in public speaking is they say that the butterflies never go away, but they merely learn to fly in formation, okay? Meaning that you never really stop being nervous, but what happens is you then are able to control those nerves, okay? And I found this to be true for stand-up comedy, and I found this true for pickup, okay? I'll never forget my first time doing stand-up comedy. I was, again, same thing as in that classroom. I'm freaking the fuck out, okay? I'm sitting there watching every comic go before me. I'm like jumping up and down. I'm like, I can't believe I'm about to do this. I can't believe I'm about to do this. And then what happens, I get up there. Again, I basically have a full-on panic attack, but I push through it. I actually even get a few laughs my first time, okay? Now, the same exact thing happens with pickup. You have terrible approach anxiety. You want to go up and talk to that girl. You want so badly to do it. You're watching videos. You're like, all right, I'm going to go out. I'm going to learn this. I want to go talk to this girl. I want to have sex with that girl. I want to date her. But then what do? You crumble. You crumble under the anxiety if you just push yourself to go in there, okay? Now, my 2 examples are stand-up comedy and cold approach pickup. For you, it could be a lot of different things. It could be a lot of you that are watching this right now that have always thought, man, I want to start a YouTube channel. I want to become, you're really into fitness maybe, and you've been thinking about doing a fitness Instagram, but you're like, man, putting myself out there for all of my friends and my family and all these people to see and putting my body out there, it's nerve-wracking for you, and I understand that. But I am telling you, again, for managing anxiety, for managing depression, the more that you withdraw, the worse the situation gets, okay? The more that you essentially bow down to the natural restrictions that you're feeling, as in, some of you dealing with social anxiety, it's probably kept you from going out to parties that you wanted to go to. It's probably kept you from, going up and talking to that girl. All of these different situations. And the more that you withdraw from society and the more that you, again, bow down to these situations where you want to do something and you're just not, and you're bowing down to the depression and the anxiety, then the worse that it's going to get over time. And so again, by expanding and actually pushing your comfort zone, and again, for so many of you, this is going up and talking to a girl, okay? And for a lot of you, it's a lot of different other things. But You have to look resistance in the face and be like, hey, fuck you, motherfucker. I don't care that I'm kind of depressed. I don't care that I kind of have some anxiety right now and that I don't really like talking to strangers and that I'm not good at it. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna fucking do it anyways because I saw Aaron tell me to do it in a video, and he says that this can naturally manage depression and anxiety, and I will probably live an overall better life. So you have to go out and you have to do this shit. So mostly just because I feel like you guys will think this is funny, these steps right here ended up basically almost being my final resting place. This is it's crazy out here. There's ice just, I mean, as you can see, there's just ice on fucking everything, and if you're not extremely careful, you're going down. And I basically went down on the second step and slid all the way down to the bottom here. So got a wet butt, but you know, no one ever died from a wet butt. I am currently very, very deep in the forest, to the point where even the resonating of my voice within my chest and in my diaphragm can be heard. It's silent out here. It's absolutely beautiful. And I wanted to hit a very, very important point here. And I'm going to keep this one a little short. It's something I've talked about in a lot of different videos. But if this is your first time, hearing me go on about it, or you just want to kind of hear me, reiterate on this, I really, truly believe it is one of the quintessential discoveries of my life, was waking up and realizing that nothing was nearly as important as I thought it was. So right now, you might be in high school, you might be in college, you might be 35, 40, working some shit career that you don't like, and you might have some drama going on at work, and that's stressing you out. You might have some drama at school, and that's stressing you out. And you're thinking about what people think about you, and you're thinking about your current life situation, and everything just kind of feels a little bit hopeless, and you feel enveloped by the problems at hand. And I've been there, trust me. I'm not some Zen guru. I'm not trying to sound as though I am one. I've been in those predicaments, okay? But truly, for me, it took psychedelics to wake me up to this. I mean, really. I had done psychedelics before I even really discovered any sort of self-development. I've done acid, I've done mushrooms, I've smoked DMT. I've gone very, very deep. And something that I realized basically every single time that I've ever done something like that is I just come to the deep understanding that none of this is as important as we're all pretending it is. Some huge news story about some politician who, he got caught lying, and there's a huge scandal. We love that word, scandal. Everything's scandalous. It's crazy, right? It doesn't exist. We're born naked. We're just monkeys. And we're all just pretending like we have a grasp on how to live, but we don't know anything, because all we know is what we've been taught by the monkeys right before us that also pretended to have a grasp on how to live. And who taught them? It was the naked monkeys before them, okay? And this is why you have things like racism. This is why you have this is why kids are still getting circumcised. It's fucked up. It's fucked up that we're still circumcising children. Like, honestly, it's not healthier. That's already been debunked, okay? Hygiene issues, whatever. Like, it's fucking pointless, okay? And it's because you just have the same naked monkeys being ejected out of vaginas, trying to teach the next generation of naked monkeys that they birth, and nobody really knows anything, okay? It's all just this big game. It's all just a fucking joke. Honestly, like, it's crazy. And yet, when you're in it, it just feels so important, okay? Getting accepted into this college, it feels so important. Making sure that little Susie is going to want to go to homecoming with you, it feels so important. Getting out of this dead-end job, it feels so important. And yes, that's a different case, okay? I understand. That definitely is very, very important. But again, you can feel as though this is an issue, these problems that you're having, these problems that are causing your anxiety, causing your depression, at the very core, there's usually a root cause here, okay? Most of the time, I think 99.999% of the time, people do not need medications, okay? And, one of the big, again, just, I don't want to say cures to my depression and my anxiety, but again, something that's really, really helped me to manage it is just understanding that none of this really matters, okay? Life in and of itself is, we're all lost, we're all scared, we're all tired, and we're trying to get through. And again, it can feel as though you're enveloped in the problems that you're having, the problems that are causing this depression that you have. And I know it can feel that way, but you're not, okay? Now, this isn't my thing. It's something that I read in Awaken the Giant Within that I learned from Tony Robbins. But Tony Robbins basically, he says to envision all of your life's problems, okay? So, and really just do this with me for a second, okay? Imagine that right here is that electric bill. Right here is that friend that's talking shit about you. Right here is your girlfriend that you just feel doesn't respect you anymore. Over here is the fact that, you promised your kid you were going to get him some new shoes and now you can't afford. You just have all these fucking problems and they're just surrounding you. Okay? The problems are like these trees out here in the forest and they've got you surrounded. Hang on, I'm going to fix the camera here for a second. I can tell it's slipping down a little. I don't think it was that far down at the beginning of filming this. Let's see. That's okay. So you've got all of these issues, okay? And they all feel, again, like they're just totally enveloping you. They're surrounding you. They're all around you. Your problems are the trees. You're in the middle of the forest of these fucking problems, okay? They're birds. They're flying down. They're fucking drilling you in the head over and over and over again. You're being beaten down by your life's problems. But then what do? Okay? This is kind of my own spin on it, to be honest with you. I want you to envision this, okay? You're literally on the beach and all of your life's problems are birds. They're swarming your fucking head. They're drilling you right in the eyeballs and it hurts and you're in pain and you feel completely overwhelmed. What can I do to get rid of these fucking problems? Stop it, get away. And then you gather them all up and you put them in a cage. They're all in a fucking cage now, okay? And you put the cage of problems on a boat, and that boat sets sail, and you're still standing on that beach, and all of a sudden, you see your life's problems sailing away in a fucking cage. Doesn't that feel good? There they go. They're going away. They're getting further and further out into the water. There they go. Farther and farther out into the water. Have you ever been standing on a beach before and you see a boat? What happens when it gets really far into the water? It almost disappears, right? It gets smaller and smaller. The biggest cruise ship in the world, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller till it becomes a little dot. And then guess what? You can't even see that dot anymore. And now it's out over the horizon. And it might as well not exist. It might as well not even be real. Now, doesn't that feel good? Doesn't it feel good to feel as though you have control over your problems? And you do. You can put all those problems in a cage. Now, most of life's problems, they need to be solved. They can't be avoided. Okay, a lot of people use drugs and alcohol to avoid their life's problems. They can't be avoided. They have to be solved. Okay, and so how do you solve your life's problems? One by one. Okay, so I liken it to, let me fix this really quick. I need to fix the angle of this camera here. Hang on. Stay with me, guys. I don't even want to edit this out. I don't care. I like the rawness of this video. Okay, there we go. So you solve your life's problems one by one, all right, by viewing your life's problems as a house, okay? Imagine your house right now, your house, the house that you live in, and every room is filthy. It's disgusting. And you walk in and you think to yourself, man, I need to clean this house. And you look around and you feel completely and utterly overwhelmed, okay? And I've been there, trust me, I know how that feels. But then what do? Okay, my approach has always been this. I start with one room at a time. Okay, so maybe I'm starting off with the kitchen, and maybe I had a bunch of clutter in the kitchen and things that don't go there, but I take all of those things that don't go in the kitchen and I put them in the living room. Okay, I just throw them into a different room, into the living room, even if that's still not where they go. But some of those things definitely did go in the living room. Okay, now what you have is you have a clean kitchen, and that's all that matters, is that you have a clean kitchen. So what do now? You move to the living room, okay? And some of those things that belonged in the living room, now they're back in the living room. And there's a lot of things in the living room that don't belong there. Now you move them to other rooms, and you clean the shit out of that living room. And now you've got 2 clean rooms, okay? Look at that. Now what? Half of your house is clean? I mean, you got, what do you got left? A couple bedrooms, maybe the garage? All right? Room by room by room. You clean your house. Room by room by room, you clean up your life, okay? Your problems are manageable. Your problems are not going to overtake you like birds on a beach bashing into your fucking head. You can get through this. You can escape hell. Understand that life is really just a giant game, okay? Even though it doesn't feel that way. I truly believe that there's billions, if not trillions, if not an infinite amount of planets out there that are harboring intelligent life. I really believe that. And I think on some of these planets you have you have literally like interstellar planetary systems where people are communicating from planet to planet and they know about this other world and they've been at war with them, and just like what you see in Star Wars or something like that. I believe that on some planets there's some Taylor Swift type character and she becomes president because everybody just loves her so much, and that culture is even more deeply ingrained into pop culture than we are. I think there's so many things going on in this universe, and it can just feel like the fact that Chris and Mackenzie at school don't want to be friends with you anymore. And it can feel as though that is the biggest thing in the universe. But it's not, okay? And understand that your life is meant to be lived and your life is meant to be enjoyed. Okay guys, now we are reaching the end of the how to naturally cure depression and anxiety video here. Ideally without having to use medicine of any kind, anti-anxiety, antidepressants. A lot of those medicines, they just really have such a negative effect on, creativity, I've been told, sex drive, sex function, just lots of different things. We don't really fully understand what's going on up here. Like, we really have no idea. People talk about serotonin and dopamine, and these are things that we know about, but they actually can't be measured. And yet we're putting pills into people's bodies that are supposed to clog certain receptors and release them, and it's just all sorts of messy. So one of the final points that I want to hit here, I'm here at the cave right now. I know the lighting right now is a little odd, kind of like dark over here, light over here. This video is meant to take you from the darkness into the light. That's kind of the metaphor here that we can work with. But like I said in an earlier segment of this video, I used to weigh 290 pounds, okay? And I didn't know how to exercise, okay? I kind of did, but I really was going into the gym, and I would do some cardio. I mean, I know how to run, right? But once I started getting into a very, very good routine where I was actually able to put on some muscle, as well as take my cardio to its limit, right? Not just getting on for 30 minutes, slowing down when I want to, and yada, 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 but rather pushing myself to a point where, like, I might die right now. I'm on mile 2.5 right now. I'm on mile 3.5 right now. I might die right now. And what your body does is your body, again, to help with that pain, it releases endorphins, okay? It releases endorphins, it releases dopamine. Your body takes care of you. It makes you feel better. And so many people have reported that this has really, really helped them naturally to deal with depression and anxiety. So a lot of you guys, whether you're overweight or if you just even don't use your body that much, get on the treadmill, run, exercise, take care of your body, put good things into your body. And this to me is one of the most important steps, because you don't even understand the poison that you're sometimes putting inside of yourself. This is your engine, this is your machine. You need this thing to run properly. So you have to be putting good things into your body. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Here at the end, I'm gonna do a quick little recap of all the points that I hit on how you can naturally cure your depression and anxiety. These are just, again, from my own personal experience, as well as from what I've read and watched from other people, scientists, doctors, patients themselves, people that have naturally cured depression and anxiety without having to use medications. Something I'm very, very passionate about, because I just feel as though doing all the things that I laid out for you in this video has really, really greatly improved my overall quality of life, my overall quality of existence on this planet. I didn't ask to be born. You didn't ask to be born. There's no reason why we can't enjoy this thing together, and really just experience all of the positive experiences there are out there to have, whether it's fun, whether it's warm, it's loving, it's exciting. We deserve to live fulfilled lives, and I hope that this video will in some way, shape, or form help you on that journey towards living a fulfilled life. So thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Here at the end, I'll go ahead and have a couple other videos that are kind of on this topic that you guys can watch if you'd like. If not, that's okay too. I really hope this video helps you out. Thank you guys so much. See you soon.